Welcome back to the Creators Table. This is where I sit down with indie creators to talk about the work they're building from the ground up. Today, I'm joined by Nathan Ratering, the creator of the Legion project. We talk about how it began, what it's becoming, and the work it takes to keep an original idea like this moving forward. If you enjoy the conversation, feel free to subscribe for more interviews with indie creators. All right, let's get into it. Where did the idea come from?
Initially this came from a group chat on Kick, I think it was. We just started talking, making jokes, and eventually we started making up characters. And these characters came to life, and we fell in love with these over the course of maybe a couple years of doing this. Since then, we've kind of parted ways, reconnected a little bit, but for the last 10 years, this story has been bouncing around in my head, not doing anything. And I'm sick of it collecting dust. So now I've actually started paying people to make this dream a reality.
What made you take it seriously? Like, when did it go from a hobby to something that you were interested in to something that you really wanted to put down onto paper and get it onto the screen?
It came from just an overwhelming love of anime in general. I have watched so many amazing works of art by dozens of wonderful creators, and also looking into indie animated projects like, Murder Drones or the Digital Circus with Glitch Studios. Looking at these other passion projects from independent people with very little to start, it made me believe that I could bring this story to life and I could bring this world that I've been thinking about to life. And I decided now is the best time to do it. I have all of my ideas. Everything is ready to go. Literally, the only two things I need is money and time, and I will get it done.
What is the Legion project about?
It is the idea that everybody deserves a place to call home and people to call family, no matter who they are or what they've done. Everybody's broken in their own different ways, but as long as you keep moving forward, as long as you keep taking one more step, you will always find a place to belong and people to love and to be loved by. That's the general emotion that's pushing me forward to this whole thing.
So, if you had to describe the Legion project, how you would see it on the screen, right? Like the story that goes on behind it, the world building that you're currently busy with. Could you explain and break down the idea behind it and what it would look like? The story, there's a lot there, but if you could
Yeah,
unpack it a
yeah.
bit.
I'll go into the actual design, physical design of the world itself.
All right.
So its name is Tineage, and it has 8 continents on it. And each one, now this world, its weather is not controlled by tectonic plates or the magma bubbling up in the, what's that thing called?
The
The mantle. The mantle. It's not controlled by any of that. It's controlled by the flow of magic. Now, surrounding this world are things called ley lines that kind of just suck in magic and move it to somewhere else in the world. It's just giant vacuum tubes that move it. Now, magic likes to cling to things, so it drags the air with it, causing wind and weather, and it drags the earth with it as well, causing continental movement. Now, each continent is over the course of tens of thousands of years, it looks like they're actually alive. Because there's no tectonic plates moving, it appears they just grow in one direction and fade in the next. The entire landmass can move across the ocean, and each one moves in a slightly different way, which causes different weather, different cultures, different people who live there, different environments to fight and avoid monsters and to find civilization. Every single continent feels like it's a place you can actually live.
So it's an actual world. It's an actual planet, Tiniage.
Yes.
Did I say that right?
Yes. Close enough.
Cool.
I'm still workshopping the official title, but it's not the easiest mouthful, I know.
No, it's awesome. I mean, your fans are going to love it. They're going to enjoy
Yeah.
saying
Yeah, I
those
almost
words.
feel like the world building itself is more important than the story. So that's why I'm not gonna talk about the story, and I'm
Okay.
not gonna talk about the main characters
Okay.
either. I want both of those to be saved until this world is actually established.
Awesome. Okay, cool. Well, let's get into the world building a bit more then, because that's such an integral part of your vision
Yeah.
for it. Yeah. So, what inspired it?
I have a very wide variety of interests in various scientific fields. Biology, astrophysics, quantum mechanics, archaeology, and just world history in general. So I just take piece from here, piece from there, piece from back here, piece from down there, and I stitch together the things I find beautiful about this world, the things I love about it, the things that make it so fascinating to study, and this universe as a whole, in space, the stars, black holes, whatever. I find and I choose every single favorite piece I have about this world and drop it into this project. If an anime is that I really love, I take elements from there and drop it in. If I learn something new that's cool, I take it and drop it in. And over the last 10 years, I have taken piece after piece after piece after piece of things that I've learned and combined them into this collage of thousands of things I just find cool. And I've been able to stitch them together into an entire world that feels coherent and real, to me at least. And I'm hoping that the audience will grow to appreciate it as much as I do
Yeah. Yeah.
because it is made of the things that I love. Literally.
I think that's super cool because you creating a world and a story from the things that you love. So this whole world and the Legion project is essentially like birthed from you. So it's completely unique unto you, which makes it awesome. So you're not copying someone else, so you're not recycling someone else's idea. It's
No.
completely unique and yours,
No, but the
which people
thing is
appreciate.
I'm copying literally everyone.
Okay.
That's pretty much and so that's part of this whole process is if you just, take a character, put them in, that's called plagiarism. That's stealing. You can't do that. But if I take a piece of this character, a piece of that one, a piece of this one, a piece of like if I copy the effects of 20 different people and make a new person based off of those 20 pieces, they're basically new, even though they are copied from so many things. And this world is no different. I copy from everything I see, everything I learn, everything I'm fascinated in. It is it is a copy paste collage that has so many inspirations that it becomes new by itself.
I get that. I mean, essentially, great art is essentially inspired by great art before
Yeah.
that art. I mean,
That
you
that's how
can't.
it grows. That's
Yeah,
like art grows because people copy art
yeah, yeah.
and then improve upon it later with modern tools. And then the more tools people get, the higher the standards becomes.
Yes, exactly.
Because it's easier, you're expected to be better with it.
Yes, yes. And especially in the indie world, you have all the leeway that you want with time, with enough time and resources that, like you say,
Yeah.
to create it exactly how you envision it.
Yeah, and with these tools that make it easier to manage, it opens the gateway just a little bit wider for people of less skill to come in and start doing something. Painting's really difficult, but if you can't have painting, use a pen. That's pretty easy. If you can't use a pen because you're doing this, have a pencil. Or if you want unlimited redos and a zoom, do it on digital. As the technology gets better, it makes the expectations for art better and it makes the capacity for art better and it lowers the gate for entry. So then more people can be making better things the farther it goes down the line.
It's amazing. And
It's a
super true.
self-replicating loop.
It's a self-replicating loop, yeah.
Better art makes better art makes better art.
Yeah. Just keeps going and going and going. So then within that self-replicating loop, the Legion project will come to life essentially, and we will get to see it on screen. What's the goal? What's like the ultimate goal for your show?
Yeah, I'm starting with the world with each of the continents and an entire host of characters that could be the main ones, but I'm not gonna tell you which ones.
Exactly.
And, I'll see different stories emerge from this world that, fans make or theorists make of who could be the real ones? Who could the story be about? I'll take all those in and just because the story's already in my head. I know what's gonna happen. But I just gonna watch the entire fan base as it covers different pieces, and it's like, "Oh, I like that idea, I like that idea, I like that idea." And this story will combined with what I already know, along with what I'm taking from speculation, to emergently create a story that evolves over time. And right now, I have enough material to last over 100 episodes, and then that material has enough potential to last the rest of my life. So, as long as I have those two things, time and money, I will get it done. And if an audience actually supports it, then that'll just make it better.
100%. Do you have animators that you are working with currently to try and get this thing done?
Right now, there's about 10 of them, and then I have one audio/music guy helping me out as well.
Awesome. How are you finding that process so far? Like, how are you finding relaying the ideas in your head for the Legion project to the animators and the guys that are helping you, the people that are working with you?
I have gotten very good at describing things in clarity over the years because I've never had artistic talent, and every time I tried practicing, I hated what I made. So I stopped. I couldn't get over the I suck phase to become good at it. So now I've just been describing my visions to people and using that to direct in a way. And I suppose this also kind of leads into the elephant in the room in our heads that this project is and will be involved with AI content. This is not an anti AI show. However, real art is made by humans. I know that. That's always going to be the case. Real art is made by humans. And I am only using AI as an assistive tool to compensate for my lack of artistic skills. A lack of skill is not equivalent to the lack of creativity or standards. I have a vision that I want to get done right, and I'm not going to trust my scribbly stick figures to get that point across. So I'm going to use AI to bridge the gap between my mind and the image I actually want to make. I will share that with animators as pre-storyboard general references, or PISTARs for short, and they will look at them, understand what I want, discard the AI image entirely and never look at it again, and then make their own work of art based off of that, using AI as a springboard to make something better than either one of us can make alone. That is my stance on AI. That is my stance with artificial assistance in artistic projects. And that will be my perspective going forward. I will always be transparent about what is AI and what is human. I will always disclose when it is used, and I will even share my prompted images and descriptions for public viewing should they be requested. Yeah, I'm not afraid to show my hand. Hell, in all of the contracts I have written out so far, there is a clause in it saying that when this project is completed and released, A full copy of every single contract will be public information. Who's getting paid, what the expectations are, what's AI and what's not, and the entire timeline of events. Everything I do will be transparent. You will know exactly what is AI, and you will know exactly the reason why I use it. I just want to make that extremely clear to everybody who is either on the fence or anti AI entirely.
Yeah, you'll get the purists that will, it's a controversial topic, but I think your stance on that has already answered a lot of those controversial, questions like, why are you using AI? AI, da 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 da. It's a tool that
It does
helps.
not replace creativity. It en it encourages you to be better.
If someone would make a whole show just using AI without any originality or something, what would you think about that? Like just a pure
There's
AI.
already a couple out there. It's already being done.
Yeah,
There's already AI generated worlds out there, and I can tell that there's a human mind typing the prompts. And
gotcha.
in particular, there's this one, it's a 20-minute short film, 100% AI generated. It's called Pomegranate.
Okay.
And just looking through that, in my mind, it's like, yeah, this is AI. I know it's, fake animation, but a human made it. A human came up with this idea, with this plot, with the shots and the camera direction and the zoom ins, the pans. I could tell the human creativity through every shot. Even though AI was making it move, that was all it was doing. The AI didn't make that AI didn't make Pomegranate. People did. They just used it to make it they just used AI to make it move. It's wonderful. It is so cool. There is so much potential with this. If people will just open up a little bit and use the tool as a tool instead of, you know, Roko's basilisk or whatever.
It's sort of like when Photoshop just came out, and there's that whole argument.
Yeah,
There's always been something before, like when the horse wagon was replaced by the first car or whatever. I mean, there's always been.
the first digital art tools were looked down on.
Yeah,
Every single tool that makes art easier was just dumped on when it first came out, and now it's integrated.
yeah, it's integrated.
AI's not going away. I'm sorry, antis. It's not going away. But you can just learn to use it like the tool it is. Learn how to use it responsibly. Don't sell stolen pieces of generated content. Know the fact that AI generated images are not inherently art unless a human came up with the ideas that were building it in the first place. We need to work with it to make this hemisphere of the internet better. We can't be one or the other. We really can't. A little bit of one and mostly the other is the perfect combination. To use it with caution and responsibility instead of just making 500 pounds of slop every week.
Yeah, yeah,
Because I know AI slop. I know what it is when I look at it.
yeah.
There's a lot. There
There's a
is
lot.
so much out there.
Yeah.
And it's sad. It's really sad that people are using it so irresponsibly.
You came up with the Legion project before AI was even a thing.
Yeah, this
So
started in
this is
2015. I've been making this years before I've ever talked to ChatGPT.
yeah,
Way before images. This is my show. I will not claim singular ownership. The Legion Project has 3 founders, but I am the only one currently actively working on it, and I have made it into my own thing. However, I am not the original creator. I am only one of 3.
and I mean, the Legion project would have been made regardless if if GPT came around or any
Yeah,
of the
it
others.
it just would have taken about a few decades longer.
Yeah, yeah. Which actually leads me on to the next one. Like, how do you feel? Like, how do you keep going? Okay, for people that don't know, indie animation can take sometimes forever. So, how do you keep
Very long.
going when the progress feels painfully slow? And it's like, ah, just want to get this done. What keeps you motivated? Like, how do you keep pushing through the grind?
This has been a personal motto of mine for the better part of 5 years now. One more step. When when I was in my rock bottom times, when I was going through addictions and self-hatred and just hating the world, disappointed in everything around me, I I had this epiphany. I might go into this story later, but it's kind of personal, so I won't do it now.
Hmm.
But I had this epiphany in the middle of darkness, and I just heard this voice saying, "Just take one more step and then take a break." So I went outside for a walk, and I came back, and I took a nap for the first time in years. I don't take naps, but and then the next day, I made a little bit more progress on something, and then I paused. The next day, I made one more step, rinse and repeat every single day. And it's gotten easier, obviously. I'm not in rock bottom anymore. I'm I wouldn't say I'm good yet, but I'm better. And I
Great
just
to
keep it in
hear.
my mind, at least one more step a day. Just take at least one more step. Sometimes I take 5, sometimes I take 20, and then my ears start smoking. But as long as you can take a bare minimum of one step every single day, nothing in the entire world will ever stop you. Absolutely nothing. One step is all it takes to break every wall.
Yeah. So, for all the people out there that have an indie animated project or any creative endeavor in mind, I think that's a great way of saying it. If you don't step forward, then you're just going to be plateaued the whole time and on pause, and nothing's ever going to get done. But as long as you keep moving
Yeah.
forward,
And it's not like it's an uncommon phrase. I mean, it was directly inspired by the guy who inspired me, Monty Ohm. Never stop moving forward. I was introduced to indie animation through Ruby, and his the world of Remnant and the way Monty did fight scenes, it just woke something up inside of me. And then it
that,
stayed in my mind ever since it first came out back when I was in high school or middle school. With his phrase, keep moving forward, that stuck with me. And in my darkest times, I heard that voice just say one more step. One more step and no one will stop you.
and as the like main production dude, and you have a group of animators that are working with you, you're essentially like the leader and the motivator. And yes, they can
Yeah.
be hired. You know, obviously people need to get paid and compensated for their talent. But you as the creative force behind that, um, I mean, at least you got that ability down. I'm sure there's a lot of stories with animators or people being hired in this field where their boss essentially is just a bit of a shit show and the art
Yeah.
doesn't get created as
Because I know that the most important people are the ones putting pens to screen or beats on a score. The most important people in the anime industry are the people actually making the anime. I'm just writing and directing. I can stand back. I could take, 1% profits and I'll be happy. As long as I can survive and I have enough to do things I enjoy, all of my money's going to the animators.
well, this is your passion, right? This is your baby.
Pretty
This
much.
is like,
This this is my life goal. This is my life dream, and I will spend every penny it takes to make it possible. I don't need to have like, honestly, if my bank account has more than 5 digits in it, something's wrong. Like, I need to start like,
dispensing
I
and
I need to
dispersing.
animate this music video. I need to, commission this song made. I need to do this, that, whatever.
Yeah.
I could start paying for the next season of the show. Why do I have $10,000 sitting around doing nothing when I could be paying someone to make art?
What is what in a perfect world, if you had
Hmm.
enough budget and time, when would something visually, the first few minutes of an episode or the first 10 or 20, 30 seconds or something that people could see and watch and get behind learning about the Legion project? So like
Uh,
best case scenario, when can we as fans watch something?
it'll get released when I say it's ready.
Perfect.
I don't I don't have deadlines. None of the animators who have worked on this have ever had a set deadline to get it done. If I see something I wanna change, I tell them and I pay for the retweaks. I know what crunch time does to people. I know what rushing does to people. People say they work better under pressure, but I disagree. I think that's just copium. True art comes when someone enjoys doing it every single minute they're making it. If you feel actually, that's wrong. Art is enjoyable even when you're not having fun. That's just part of the process. You're not gonna like your job every once in a while. I'm not saying that's a fake idea, but I want people to release a product they are truly proud of and feel like it was done to completion. So nothing in the show will have deadlines. I can have hopes that we're we might actually get episode 1 of the show within a year if things go right. And if things go smoothly, then I'm hoping it'll we can see episode 1 within the year. But I'm not gonna promise that. If it takes longer to make it better, then I'm going to take longer to make it better. That's just that's the long and short of it. Hopefully, it goes
Mm.
quickly, but it might not.
The whole idea behind it sounds incredible. And I'm sure you're going to get like a ton of fans as time moves on. And we can
I
do
hope so.
like more of these and more of these, um, with more bits to show. Hopefully in the future, there's no deadline, like you say. And yeah, man, it sounds super awesome. It's always funny when you think of it like we're an adult and we're making little cartoons. Whereas I've had that conversation sometimes with other people. What, you trying to make a cartoon? Yeah, I'm trying to make a cartoon. So what? It's cool.
It's art.
It's art. Exactly.
Art defines the world.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, in a in 10,000 years, when civilization is gone and aliens visit this world after we're gone to meet them, they'll dig through it and they will piece together all of human history through the art. Digital stuff probably won't exist by that point, but there's sculptures, there's paintings. Not everything has been swallowed by the crust yet.
Yeah.
They can still human history is defined through the art it makes. Not through the wars, not through the political speeches, not through religious gatherings, it's through the art.
That's
That's what defines human history.
What do you think is more difficult for you as the creator? Is it helping your animators with the creative visual side, or is it the behind the scenes production side, maybe like voiceover work or music, or just the two different sides? What would you?
I would say it's side 3, it's patience. Animation itself costs about $1,000 per minute of video because it takes the animators a month plus to get it done. And hell, $1,000 in a month is not that much, in all honesty. I would be paying them 2, 3,000 a piece, but that's just not realistic until I find some way to make more money eventually through Patreon, through merch, through hell, it could be a model. I don't know. It doesn't matter.
I think once the Legion project starts to gather fans and a support group, a lot of independent art would um, you'd find support through people through that. Then we can see you at some place like Comic Con or what's the anime one? MetroCon? Am I saying that right? Is that a thing?
MetroCon.
Is that a thing?
Comic Con.
Comic Con.
Yeah, that's usually anime based.
Okay.
Uh I don't know. There's a lot of them.
Yeah.
you'll find anime stuff in any convention you go to.
Do you think indie animation is bigger than mainstream? Not bigger yet, but do you think it has a leg to stand on when comparing or trying not to compete with mainstream? But do you think this is like a time for indie to really come up?
I
Sort of.
think it has way more potential than any giant corporation can have. Like with things like Disney and Pixar and Hollywood and whatever.
Mhm.
Heck, they're titans. I know that. Disney owns half the world basically. But with indie, it is you can work so much faster. You can work with so much less paperwork, so many fewer hoops to jump through. It's such a lower gate of entry, and it's so easy to get into it relative to a Hollywood billion-dollar production. Like, that takes a resume to get into those projects. But here it's like, just type on Reddit, "Hey, yo, I'm giving animators $1,000 for a minute. Who wants to join?" And then I get 10 people within the first 2 days. It's great. By comparison, it is so easy to get and it's just like with the tools. If it's easier to get into, and the bar is set higher for quality. I mean, relatively speaking. So much more potential than corporation animation.
Yeah. The fans that you would build as an indie creator compared to the mainstream, like they're really going to be like your hardcore fans. They're going to
Like,
love
it's
you to the end.
yeah. People like Disney because it's Disney. That's just inevitable for until humans go extinct. But indie productions are loved by the people who love the indie production itself. It is for the creators themselves who are putting their time and effort into this. The passion is what drives the fans. It's not just a brand because I don't have a brand. It's people who are genuinely interested who will push it forward, and I hope will eventually fund it in the future.
Absolutely. Where can people follow what you're building, man? Where can we keep in touch, stay in tune with
I
you?
have a YouTube and Discord right now because I don't really like social media out of principle. I I might open one up, but it's not really in my wheelhouse. I have no idea how it even works. But I'll be posting video updates on YouTube at Calred Voss, and I'll also shoot you a link to the public Discord that I
Awesome.
opened up where people can just come together and chat about whatever they want. Ask
Very
me
good.
questions. I'm always on it when I'm not working. So
Cool.
I'll be genuinely honored to talk to anyone who's interested on this for any amount of time.
I have one more question for you. And I know you can't give spoilers about the story, but if someone had to ask you, I'm going to ask you, what's one scene or idea in the Legion project that you cannot wait for people to see visually? Is there a certain section or little scene or couple of seconds of something? And I know there probably are hundreds of snippets in your head that you want us all to see, but if you had to pick one, if I had to like force your hand to just, yeah,
Is it uh is it cool to say the actual finale?
yeah, I think I think
It's
that's
like,
totally cool.
I see, honestly, if I needed to pick 1 or 2 scenes that I want everybody to see, it would be the pilot episode and the finale. Those are the 2 things I am easily the most excited for people to see because the beginning is what foundationally decides what the entire story is going to be. Because I know the whole story, I can foreshadow everything from whenever I want. So the first episode is going to be what builds up the entire story from then on. And then the final episode is when the thousands of stories all collapse into a single point. And then it just explodes into the next whatever I want to make from then on. So yeah, it's the first and final episodes of this 100 plus episode show.
And you already
So that's
have
my answer.
an idea of what the finale would look like? even
Oh, I
though
know exactly what the finale is gonna look like.
it's a true creator, man.
Yeah,
You got your story locked in.
it's locked in.
I can't wait to see it. Can't wait to hear more about it.
I can't wait to make it.
Dude,
Just give me money.
that's it.
Give me more money, please.
Nathan, thank you so much for coming on, man, to the Creators Table. It's been such a pleasure to have you. This is not going to be the first time we're going to have Nathan. We're going to be keeping up to date with Nathan. We have to hear more.
It is a genuine honor and pleasure.
The Legion project sounds super awesome. And I think, we're really going to get some fans from this.
I sure hope so.